What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are finally going to be doing some work, which is great for me because this mess in my barn, the mess in my house, everything, this shit's got my anxiety through the roof. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if anybody out there is like me, but I hate a mess. I hate trying to work around and work through. Anyway, drives me nuts. So hopefully this thing over here doesn't drive me absolutely nuts and get me all wound up. But let me show you what we're working on today. Legitimately, there is nothing worse than when you fix a squeaky vehicle just for it to turn around and squeak again. And if you guys look here, you can see all of this residue right here. The wheel seal is bad on Sally. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and peel that apart. I did notice that our pinion seal, which we've known about, is bad too, so we have both of those. We got a bearing for in here just in case, so we're gonna go ahead and peel this apart and I'll catch up with you guys once we get it stripped down. All right, so we got everything torn down. We got the rear diff draining. The further in you get, the juicier it gets, which is usually the dead giveaway that your axles, or your wheel seal I should say, is leaking. Like you can see all that built up in there. Usually if they get bad enough, you'll end up soaking the inside of the tire and you'll see it leaking on the ground. Ours didn't get that far, but she bad. And we're gonna be deleting this parking brake stuff. I'll redo it later in life, but right now all that shit's just gonna come out. So what we gotta do next is we gotta go ahead and remove all 8 bolts here. And then we'll be able to slide the axle out, as this is a full floater Dana 80. And then once we get this out, there's a ring inside of here. Actually, I believe it's the big ass socket. We got to undo that, then all of this can come off, which will expose our seal and our bearing. Alright guys, so once you get that off of there, 2 things to keep important. 1, try not to throw up while I keep this thing steady, because I'm doing a horrible job. But there's a little keeper right in here. Go ahead and pop this out. Be very ginger with it. And then we actually have a nut right here that we had to get a special socket for a while back. And then you can see your seal and your bearing, or you can see your bearing in here. And part of your seal. Now this is a tapered roller bearing. So when you go to get your new one, if they hand you a tapered roller bearing, that's completely normal. That's what you're getting. So we're gonna go ahead and pop this stuff out, and then we'll examine everything. We got our bearing out and we got our seal out. She pretty well wrecked. But don't do that. That was bad. So anyways, what you guys want to do is just make sure that you get inside of the race here and get everything nice and cleaned up. We got to do the pinion bearing as well, which is why it's such a jump in time. We had to run out and find an 1 7/8" socket. I'm thinking that the venting on this, on the rear axle, has been bad because I had to revent the front axle, I had to revent the transmission, the transfer case, and I had to revent the crankcase and all that. So this truck has had venting issues. And the rear end we never had a problem with, but because I knew about it, it always seems like when I know about it, I should probably do something about it, and I didn't, so sucks to suck, and well, shit got fucked up. Fuck me, right? So anyway, so after we do all this, we're gonna revent it as well, and that camera lens is as dirty as they freaking get. I probably made that worse. Anyway, we'll quit focusing on my ugly ass mug. I'm gonna go ahead and run that out and catch up. We got our new seal in, and we got our bearing in as well. I put a little bit of grease inside of there just to keep it quiet, because the last time that we did this, she was squeaking for a good hot minute down the road. I threw a little bit of light grease right here over the axle shaft as well, to kind of just help everything slide over nicely without tearing up the seal. Throw a little bit more right there. Now again, this isn't how any of this stuff gets lubricated. This is just merely for the install, just to keep everything nice. This is, again, just to keep it. There's a goddamn bug in here. Well, you're dead now. But anyway, it's just to keep everything from getting torn up and what have you. So that way when we go to install all of this, we're not, yep, just like that. We're not hurting nothing. So I'm actually gonna leave that in there so it doesn't, I guess it doesn't matter. It's gonna pull down on it one way or another. All right, so I made a little kickstand with the breaker bar there, but we're gonna do the same thing with this. We're gonna throw some grease in this pig, because again, it's dry, and I don't want it to go down the road dry. Because what'll happen is, when you fix one part of your squeaky truck, this part will make it squeaky again. So, like most of you on your Friday nights all by yourselves, let's lube up. You alright there, killer?
Try to be mature.
Nah, fuck all that. I gave up on that a long time ago. So now again, this isn't necessary. We just do it because of past experiences. We love Sally, but she's kind of a bitch. And she likes to kind of flaunt it. So now we got that in there. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I feel like the Hodge twins would be proud of that.
Dude, they'd be so proud. But, alright, we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut off from here because that light's blinding me. But we're going to run our ring back on here, tighten that down, and then put our little keeper in. Slide this axle shaft back in, and we're off to the races. And just like that, she is all put back together. I mean, essentially I should go to this side because this is the side that we were working on. One quick thing to remember is inside of the axle shaft here, there's a little crush gasket that goes in here. You know, just make sure that you get that nice and cleaned up, because when you go to put it back together, that's really all that seals it. I'm probably gonna have to do it to this side because I had to do it to the driver's side too, where I had to slide it out, throw a dab of RTV on there. I'm hoping, because I followed the torque sequence and all that like you're supposed to, hoping maybe I get lucky and it works out. But again, Sally she's kind of funny like this. Isn't or wasn't really meant to be a how-to video. A lot of people will get it twisted by I guess, how I word the titles. This is a vlog. If I'm gonna do a how-to, I won't, because everybody in the comment section is a douchebag. The know-it-alls, my people, you guys are good. But really the key thing to take away from this is check the vent on your axle. You should actually be checking the vents on both of your diffs. You want to check it on your transmission, automatic as well, and you want to check it on your transfer case too. You know, make sure that there's no debris in there, make sure they're clear and they're flowing. Obviously do your fluid changes, but you will need a 2 9/16 socket to pull that big ass nut out of there. And then just, you know, I pretty much did this all with basic hand tools. These fucking things are pissing me off. But I did everything with basic hand tools. Really the only thing special that I used was that 2 9/16 socket, and I did a 3/4 inch to 1/2 inch adapter, and my DeWalt impact. Other than that, I mean, you could do it with hand tools. You know, a breaker bar getting it loose. Depending on what rear end you have, if it's open or what have you, which actually, no, I think it would spin, because I think they got to be like 200 or 300 RPM or whatever. Pretty basic. She's all back together. Real quick, again, with the grease, you don't have to pack that bearing full of grease. I just did it that way there was no metal on metal first, you know, when we first get it going. What you can do is put a jack and a jack stand under the opposite side and articulate the axle. That way fluid goes to that side and then it fills up the bearing. But she was going back to driving her truck, so we didn't get to the pinion seal. We'll do that on another video. But anyway, you guys know everything that you need to do. You know all the social medias, this, that, and the other thing. Take care, God bless, be good to one another, better than me. Take care, and we'll see you on the next one, guys. See ya.